CG meant nothing to him. She just made demands on him, that's all.
Did she demand that they sleep together?
He is in jail, and I can't stand the thought of him being there for something I know that he didn't do.
Can't Gary be declared incompetent to stand trial?
No.
What if we volunteer to institutionalize him?
Laura, you're talking about Richard. Don't tell you what I'm talking about.
Laura, you talking about a murderer?
Yes.
Why are you doing this? Get out of here! Get out of my life!
Val sound like a criminal.
That's because she's famous.
They're famous.
Everybody at school always asks me about Gary and Val.
You think Gary did it, Mac?
Yeah, what do you think, Mac?
What do I think? No. But my opinion doesn't count anyway. Gary's in a lot of trouble.
At least Val's okay.
Wake up, lady.
Daddy, I finished! Where's Daddy?
But Daddy's not here. What did you finish?
It's composition. He helped me do it.
Yeah? Well, come here. Read it to me. Come on.
Okay. The Best Time I Ever Had by Jason Avery. Many years ago, when I was just little, my parents took me to Southampton for our summer vacation. It was a great summer. My daddy taught me how to swim.
Here's where you'll find rooms to let.
Actually, I was looking for the New York weather report.
Morning, Mama. Morning, sugar. Excuse me.
Good run, Val?
That's where it belongs. Oh, honey, why hurt yourself?
Val, Lily Mae's right. The information in that article is inaccurate and incomplete.
What you need is to get away from all this.
Hey, a vacation. Why don't we all go away on vacation?
Hello, Karen? Yeah, I'm fine. Listen, is Mac there? Oh, well, that's okay. Then, I'll just get him at the office. Yeah, I'm fine, honest. I love you, too. Bye-bye.
Valine, Valine, you have done enough for him.
The point is, Gary, that the preliminary hearing comes up in 2 days. That's when we go before the judge to discredit the DA's case against you. You see, they have to present everything they have openly to the court. And it's at that point that I get a chance to challenge all their evidence and to cross-examine each witness. It's a very one-sided process. They have to prove you're guilty. We don't have to prove you're not guilty. But there's something else you should know, Gary. You're a very big part of this. If we go in there strong and self-assured, it will have a positive effect on the judge's opinion.
Gary, listen to us. Pleading not guilty means acting not guilty.
I will never be not guilty.
Excuse me. Morning. Hey, how long we known on that? 5, 6 years, huh? You've always had an opinion.
My opinion doesn't count.
Oh, it does to me. You think he's innocent, don't you?
Maybe.
Oh. You also think the judge at the hearing is going to throw the DA's case out of court, don't you?
Look, you say I think he's innocent. So, am I the jury? Listen, Mac, if the judge doesn't throw this case out, if this case goes to trial, what do you think the jury's going to see, huh? They're going to see a guy who's a millionaire, a Texas Ewing, who's a drunk, a guy who 2 years ago got involved in a case with gangsters that cost his boss, your wife's first husband, his life.
What does that got to do
Wait a
with-
minute, let me finish. I'm being the jury now, okay?
You're doing good.
All right.
Fire away.
I see a drunk who left his wife for one lady, then got involved with another lady who's now dead. I see a guy who got arrested 2 weeks ago for being drunk. And then I'm going to listen to the arresting officer tell me how violent he was. Violent enough to kill. Now face it, Mac, this case goes to trial. The jury's going to love putting him away.
Yeah, if they find him guilty and the DA has no case.
You may think it's a weak case. The defense is even weaker.
That's not the way it works. Guilt has to be proven. Nobody has to prove that you're innocent. That's the system.
The system? I'm not sure Gary Ewing belongs on the street because whether he killed CG or not, he's dangerous.
That's not what I'm asking.
Yeah, and if they let him out,
Well, you're
it
not
won't be
listening to
long
what
before
I
he
need.
gets drunk again and maybe kill somebody
Pay
else.
attention to what I'm asking
Maybe
you.
not with a gun or a knife. Maybe just with his Rolls Royce. So if the system puts him away, then good for the system. It works.
Val,
Yeah?
look who I found.
Hi.
Hi. Send me away if I'm interrupting. Oh, is that pretty? Isn't this pretty? What's the occasion?
Don't do this to me, Karen.
Don't do what to you?
You know good and well that I'm going to see Mac.
My Mac? I'm sorry. I guess I shouldn't be kidding around. It's just that I want to help you, and I don't know what to do.
Well, Karen tried doing nothing.
I'm your friend, damn it. I've got to do something.
You gotta let us help, sweet baby.
Mama, you cannot help. Not the way that you want. Both of you, I wish you would try to understand. I love Gary because I have shared my life with him, and he's a part of me, Mama, and nothing you're going to do is going to ever change that.
I understand that, Val.
Wait,
but honey,
wait, Karen. I know that he doesn't love me, but that's not the issue. That's not what I'm talking about. He is in jail, and I can't stand the thought of him being there for something I know that he didn't do. Now, I am going to see Mac so that I can find out if there's anything that I can do that Abby can't or won't.
And if there's nothing you can do?
Gary Ewan kills people. How can you defend that?
How can you say that?
I know what I see. And I see you dying. He's killing you now, Valine.
Should we postpone the hearing, Mitch?
No. They're the ones that need the time to prepare. We don't.
Does Gary have to be at the hearing?
Yes,
Is his state of mind going to affect the judge?
absolutely.
Oh, his state of mind might improve if we get him out on bail.
If we get him out, he'll drink.
How do you know?
He's given up. You give him his freedom now, and he'll be drunk in an hour.
Can't Gary be declared incompetent to stand trial?
No.
Look, what if we volunteer to institutionalize him? Could that reduce his bail?
No. You pay bail and he's yours. I don't care what you do with him. I don't think we're going to go to trial. I think we're going to win at that hearing.
But if we do go to trial,
We'll win at that level.
if we don't,
Look, hypothetical. All right. If we go to trial, the charge will be reduced to manslaughter. If we lose, 6 years.
And good behavior would reduce that to 3, right?
could those 3 years be served in a sanitarium?
No. Prison.
I'm sorry. I must be driving you nuts. I'm just nervous.
Don't be. I'm pretty sure Gary will be free the day after tomorrow.
Kenny will be running Munson's Nashville studio, producing records, developing new talent.
Including Ginger Ward, I hope.
You know, that's where Kenny really floored me. After listening to Munson's offer, all that money, a house in Nashville. I mean, it's the kind of offer you dream about. Kenny said, okay, Munson, no deal unless it includes a record contract for Ginger.
What did Munson say?
He said, of course. That goes without saying. You know, I think if he had heard me first, I bet he would have been behind me the whole time.
Oh, it's so terrific. It's so terrific.
Thank you. There's only one drawback.
What?
It'll mean moving from here.
I don't know if that's much of a drawback. The old neighborhood is not what it used to be.
What's the problem?
Per our conversation, Richard cashed in one of his insurance policies. Payable to Laura Avery to cover restaurant debts. I don't know what this is about.
So why don't you ask Richard?
Well, I will as soon as I can find him.
Isn't he at Daniel?
He wasn't when I called there earlier. He and I,
Same old problem.
Well, no, actually, ever since CG died, he's really been trying hard. Just that I haven't been very helpful. It's awkward, you know? He didn't even come to bed last night. Well, I'll call him later tonight at the restaurant. He may not join his wife in bed, but he wouldn't miss dinner at Daniel. I'm sure there's some explanation, right?
Baby. How good is his lawyer?
Mitch Casey? Very good.
Is he working for Gary or Abby?
What do you mean?
I mean that she seems to have a way of calling the shots.
Casey's better than that.
Could I possibly hire another attorney?
Let me tell you something, Val. The best attorney in the country can't defend his client if his client won't let him. Gary's his own worst enemy. He's got to open up and help defend himself.
They just don't understand him. I know him. Even after everything that's happened, I know him better than anybody.
You got to try and see him. Somebody's got to get through to him.
Oh, sure. Get through to him. Yesterday we had an encounter. No, correction, it wasn't an encounter, it was a collision, like an explosion. When he saw me, he went into a rage. He said, get out of here, get out of my life. Stay away from me, stay. I got through to him. I know time probably stands still for you in here, but we're working on everything as fast as we can. The bail money's almost set. There might be a stipulation attached to the bank loan, though. The loan agreement may require you to temporarily board at a medical facility for health reasons. We're working on other loans, of course, but, well, we'll see. Anyway, both of us could probably use a good rest about now, don't you think?
There's another visitor to see Mr. Ewing. Mrs. Valene Ewing.
No! 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 Can you hear me? No! Mr. Ewing does not want to see Mrs. Ewing. Not now, not ever. Hello? He doesn't want to see her. Not now, not ever. Hello?
Don't worry, I'll take care of it.
Mrs. Ewing,
Yes?
I'm Mitchell Casey. I'm Gary's lawyer.
Oh.
I'm terribly sorry, but Gary doesn't want to see you. Seems you have a way of unsettling him. You remind him of a very unhappy period in his past. It's best for Gary that you stay away.
Is there...
I'm terribly sorry.
Hello?
Oh, Mrs. Avery, Jeffrey. I'm sorry to bother you at home, but I was wondering if I could have a word with Mr. Avery.
Isn't he there?
No.
Was he there?
No, he hasn't been here. I was hoping he was on his way.
No, I mean earlier.
No, and we have to put away the pears.
Are you sure?
Mrs. Avery, he has not been here. And we have strict instructions not to put away any of the produce until Mr. Avery checks it. The pears, Mrs. Avery.
Jeffrey, just put the pears away yourself. Okay, do the best you can. You're in charge now.
It just doesn't make sense. It does make sense.
But you've been telling him to leave.
And don't you see that he used that? Oh, God, I think I was feeling sorry for him for being so helpful and so sweet after she died, after he killed her.
Come on, Laura.
He did kill her, but he kept his head, see? Because he knew if he ran away, they would come after him. So he just waited. And then Gary was arrested. Oh, God, what a break for him. And then he just took care of everything. Fixed the garage door, fixed the drain pipe, paid off his debt to Daniel. He was being so considerate.
You're not even sure he's gone.
I am sure. He's gone all right, and I want him caught. And I want to help you get him. Laura, you're talking about Richard. Don't tell you who I'm talking about. I'm talking about a man who held his pregnant wife and his son at gunpoint for 17 hours. I have lived with that man. I've lived through the nervous breakdown, the suicide notes. I've listened to him railing at the world for
But
all his
Laura.
troubles. I know what I'm talking about.
Laura, you talking about a murderer?
Yes.
That was quick.
She was pooped. Heavy day at the nursery.
Think she's gonna miss all her little friends?
She has ways of making new ones.
Yeah, that she does. I suppose that she might start to drool with a draw.
Well, actually, I've always thought a draw was kind of romantic. I'm looking forward to my own. I want you to be sure, Kenny.
I am, babe.
Not afraid?
Are you?
You know, for the first time in a long time, I'm not.
All right. We've been through some pretty tricky times, you and me, haven't we?
I don't want to discourage you, but I don't think it gets any easier.
With you, it does.
Eileen. I'm awake, Mama. Oh, honey. I had no right to say those things. I'm sorry. Sometimes I can't hold my tongue. But I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at what I see. What do you see, Mama? I see my daughter, my beautiful daughter, suffering. My heart sinks and my anger rises, and I become the fool. No, you don't, Mama. You know what I see? Mm-hmm. I see my Mama, who sooner or later, in her own way, taught me how to love. I should have taught you how to stop. But Mama, deep love never stops. Oh, yes, it does. No, it doesn't. It gets tested, maybe. Or broken, or laughed at, cried over. But I think it can be found again and fixed. Is that what you're doing? I'm sorry for the pain love has caused you.
Do me a favor, let me know. All right, thanks. Are you ready for this?
What?
Laura's gonna talk to Janet Baines. They have an appointment tomorrow.
I wish she'd keep her mouth shut.
She can't, Karen. You know that.
I don't know that. It's one thing to report Richard's missing. It's another thing to charge in there screaming, Richard killed CG. Richard killed CG. I can't believe it. I can't even say
Maybe
it.
if Laura thinks it's feasible that Richard
It
did,
is
might-
not feasible, damn it. I know Richard. He wouldn't. Mac! Oh, Mac.
Everything's falling apart. I think it'll make a difference.
What?
Laura talking to Janet.
I don't know. This case is turning into one of those too easy cases that some cops hate.
How does Janet feel about it? Does she think it's too easy?
I think so. I mean, with Gary's arrest and him not willing to defend himself. Takes the energy right out of the investigation. Ordinarily, Richard would be a prime suspect. Without Gary in jail, it probably would have come down to Richard, Abby, your friend and mine, Chip. Once they had Gary, the investigation fizzled.
Chip? Wait a minute. Why Chip? Why would Chip be a prime suspect?
He was more than her manager.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I do.
What?
He was sleeping with CG.
How do you know about it?
It was in the police report. He had to have a blood test because of the baby.
Weren't you going to tell me?
During the investigation, I wasn't going to rock the boat.
I won't tolerate that kind of behavior for myself. My daughter shouldn't have to tolerate it either.
could be wrong, Laura.
No, I'm not wrong. If Gary Ewing had not confessed, would Richard be a suspect?
Well, Gary didn't exactly confess, but Richard was a suspect. There were others.
Yeah, but he's your best bet. I mean, he had a motive, or at least he thinks he did, and he left the restaurant at the time.
Calm down, huh? You know, I'm just a cop. I don't call the shots in a homicide investigation. The district attorney does. I just gather facts and try not to form opinions till the facts are in. In this case, I didn't have much time to gather facts, much less evaluate them.
After all I've told you, doesn't it make you wonder?
Yeah, it does. But it's tough to get my bosses to let me keep investigating when they think they've got a case against a suspect.
That's great. So Richard gets off scot-free.
Oh, I know I shouldn't tell you this, but, well, it's just my opinion.
What?
I don't think Gary Ewing will be held over for trial. I think that after tomorrow's hearing, my investigation will open up again.
Good.
Laura, are you that sure Richard's a murderer?
Yes, I'm not sure.
We'll see.
Okay, girls, I'll finish up here. Thanks.
But we are finished.
Uh-huh. Always return what you borrowed in better condition than when you got it. That's my motto.
I guess my mom wouldn't be happy if we took the car to New York. $3,000 straight from my savings account.
You sure you want to go through with this?
I'm sure of you. I can't wait to see Uncle Joe.
Well, I was going to suggest not doing that. You know, let's play it by ear for a while. Do what we want at our own pace. What the hell? It's our life.
Our life?
New attorney? I guess he didn't come to make another statement.
No, it's not that. It's Gary. I have to see him. I want to talk to him.
Val, that's not as easy as it sounds. Come on in. Hey, how about giving your secretarial skills a break?
You gonna wring another confession out of her?
Beat it.
Somebody ought to buy the film rights to this. I'm not gonna be redoing that report either.
That report is ours on Gary. It signifies an important step in our investigation. It signifies the end.
What do you mean, the end?
Well, as far as the police department is concerned, we've finished our job. The rest is up to the DA.
Well, that is wrong, and I'm telling you, you are wrong.
Now, please, calm down. I didn't say I was right. I said I was finished. And you are wearing out. You're welcome.
I am trying to get an innocent man to defend himself. Now, you going to help get me in to see him or not?
I thought he didn't want to see you.
You got to let me in to see him anyway, so that I can talk to him.
Now, what can you say to Gary that hasn't already been said?
I don't know. I don't know, and I won't know that until I get there. I just know that I have to see him.
For him or for you? Just make sure you know the difference. Okay.
Diana, look, honey, I don't want to sound cliche. I just want to make sure you're doing the right thing.
I'm sure, Mother.
How do you know?
How does anyone? Look, I'm not trying to sound glib about this because I know you're worried about me. But I'll be in good hands with Chip.
I think we're talking about two different things, New York and Chip. New York is a terrific city. It's a great place for someone with your spirit and talent. Look, I'm not afraid of something awful happening to you in New York. Just the opposite. I think you're going to blossom there.
What about Chip?
What about Uncle Joe? Why don't you stay with him?
What about Chip?
Honey, I don't want you guys to rush into this. I don't want you to rush into anything so important.
Come on, Ma. You don't want us to slow down. You want us to stop.
I'm not saying that, honey.
Yes, you are. You've been saying that
That's
all
not
along.
true, Diana.
Don't lie to me, and don't lie to
Don't
yourself.
lecture me.
Chip and I are adults. I love him.
Then I
as
suppose
we
you can
like
handle him
adults.
cheating on you like an adult, or didn't he tell you about CG?
CG meant nothing to him. She just made demands on him, that's all.
Did she demand that they sleep together?
Of course not.
He admitted it to the police during the investigation. He had to take a blood test.
Do you enjoy hurting me?
I don't think I'm getting through to you! That jerk you're so much in love with is gonna cheat on you for the rest of his life. That's the way he is, Diana. Look at me. I'm not the one. I'm not the one who's hurting you. He's the one. And I'm not gonna let you go to New York or anywhere else with him.
Goodbye, Mom.
That's it.
Okay. Thanks, Thomas.
Ah, you betcha, Miss Avery. It's always good to see you. How's Mr. Avery? Sick?
Yeah, he's got that flu, you know, it's going around.
Well, you give him some of this fresh fruit. It's the best thing in the world for him. Okay? Have a good day.
Sitting there in that light reminds me of the first day we met. I appreciate the vow for the book jacket, and you stood there by the window and pored over them. You said none of them could do justice to your daughter's real beauty, and you were right. Just as there's nothing I could say now that could do justice to how I really feel. I'm leaving. I'm afraid I've been a terrible disappointment to you. How we're supposed to improve with each lifetime, each encounter. I guess I don't look like much of an improvement to you. I have something for you.
Oh.
Here. Now, I don't want you to worry about me, all right? Although I'm not a little unafraid.
Oh, Chip, it's beautiful.
I don't know why, but whenever I see a butterfly, I think of you. I leave with you in my heart, Lily Mae. And if I failed you, forgive me. And trust that my failures are not yours. Goodbye, butterfly.
I've checked out several sanitariums, and I really think the one at Bricktown is the best.
You say so.
Olivia.
As soon as bail is posted, I want him transferred here.
I want him to understand that this is a condition of his being released in my custody. I want him to know that this is the best thing for him, legally and otherwise.
Fine, except bail won't be necessary.
What do you mean it won't be necessary?
Look, Mrs. Cunningham, let me explain to you what this hearing is all about. First, the DA presents his case, and then the judge decides whether it's a good one, whether it's worthy of spending the taxpayers' money on. It could be a very long and a very costly trial. Well, in this case, in your case, the DA hasn't got a chance. He hasn't got one single shred of direct evidence. There are too many other suspects with better motives. As I point this out tomorrow in the hearing, Gary will be a free man.
Gary will never be a free man as long as there is booze in his life.
Nonetheless, that won't be your choice. That'll be his. And I can't possibly imagine Gary ever admitting himself voluntarily into a sanitarium.
You're that sure of your case?
I am.
Good. Good. Good.
See you tomorrow.
Goodbye. James Westmont, please. Abby Cunningham. Jim, I want you to fire Mitch Casey. Calm down. I know what I'm doing. I want you there at the hearing tomorrow instead. I know you're not a trial lawyer. Don't worry, I'm not. Jim, trust me. I know what I'm doing. You'll be just fine. Just fine. Bye.
Ma'am?
Yes?
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Ronald Mackey. I'm a private investigator.
Private investigator?
You may be able to help me find a man I'm looking for.
Oh, well, if you mean Gary Ewing, the cops have already got him.
Gary Ewing?
Yeah, for killing C.G. Dunn. They practically caught him red-handed.
Is this him?
No.
You sure? He may have shaved off his mustache and beard. Take another look, will you?
That's not Gary Ewing.
His real name is Tony Fenice. He's wanted for assault and battery in Seattle.
Tony
Fenice. Tony Fenice. May have cut his hair and colored it.
That's not Gary. Gary's in jail.
Gary's in jail. If you come across him, give me a call, will you?
Olivia?
Yes?
Is everything all right?
Sure.
Did you hear Mr. Casey and me talking?
Not really. I just heard you call somebody and say to fire him.
Honey. Mr. Casey is a wonderful lawyer. He always wins his cases.
He wants to win no matter what. That's what makes him so good at what he does. But sometimes, winning right away isn't always the best thing for a person. At least a person like Gary.
You don't have to explain anything to me, Mother.
No?
No. I know there are things I don't understand.
Wouldn't you like to understand them?
I don't have to know everything. I'm just a kid.
Hey, open up! Let me out of here! God. Why are you doing this? Get out of here! Get out of my life!
Gary!
Leave me alone!
Listen to me! Please, listen to me. I want to talk to you. Don't you see you're wrong? You're not guilty. You're not guilty. You're afraid, maybe, but you are not guilty.
I'm sure as hell not innocent.
I hate to spoil your fun, Gary Ewing, but there are 2 of us in this room who've been around during your alcoholic blackouts, and only one of us is able to remember them. So all you know about a blackout is what I've told you. Maybe now you should know some of the things I haven't told you. Gary, listen to me. I have seen you in a blind rage. I've seen you laugh and cry in the same breath. I've seen you stumble and fall. I've seen you kick down doors and throw things. Gary, I've seen you hurt yourself for many years. But I have never, ever seen you hurt someone else. And you wouldn't have hurt CG.
You don't know that.
I know that if you weren't so filled with self-pity right now, you'd realize that no one here needs a martyr. Someone out there is getting away with murder while you play this pathetic game. If you had any respect for CG, you'd be doing everything in your power to put the real killer in here. Your giving up your life for hers means absolutely nothing.
Val? Lily Mae?
In here.
Lily Mae, is Chip around?
Seems like everybody's looking for Chip today.
What do you mean?
Well, a little earlier, a funny-looking man was here asking for Chip. Private Eye, real one. Said Chip wasn't Chip. Chip was Tony somebody, and he's wanted in Seattle for assault and battery.
Oh, my God. Where is he?
He's gone to New York. Karen.
Next on Knots Landing, Val's in deep after confessing to CG's murder, and Abby's hellbent on keeping Val and Gary apart. But will she just end up hurting her relationship with Gary? Find out on SoapNet's Dysfunctional Family Night.